Hey everyone, and thanks so much for checking out the video again. Occurred to me that, and now that we're on the 5th episode of this, I called this series of videos a cycle through history, and I've not really explained what that's all about. So basically, I'm interested in a few things, right? I'm interested in sport, mainly football, cycling, golf, but I also love being out in nature, and I also love quirky, unusual types of history. So that's why I thought it might be cool to use quirky history as the basis for how I figure out the route that I'm going to use. So here we are again, ready to roll. 5th day now out on the trek, and find ourselves at Chelmsford railway station. Big day today. We're going to head to London. So we're going to head to the coast, get a ferry down towards Southend-on-Sea, around the kind of coastal part of Essex again, and then into London, big smoke. So a little nervous about cycling on the roads and with all the traffic and whatever, but it is a Sunday, so it might be a bit quiet in the morning. And then we're going to go find Cromwell's statue down at the Houses of Parliament, and then up to the church where he got married. And so 2 Cromwell landmarks today. And then get the train back home tonight. So that's the plan for day 5. Here we go. So after a nice rest and a wee picnic lunch at the church, I had time to quick hop down to Burnham for a banana milkshake, and then down to the quay to catch the ferry. So I turn up at the harbour, and guess what? They've cancelled the ferry because of the winds. And what that meant is basically from Burnham back across to South Woodham, and it means basically 50 miles or thereabouts into a stiff headwind to get to London. So there we go, a bit of a tough day, but some really nice country roads, relatively quiet, and about 40 odd miles of that brings you to the outskirts of London. And around about 10 miles from London, around about the town of Dagenham, you can pick up the cycle superhighway, and this is just a really well marked cycle track that you can follow for pretty much 10 miles. It's cycle superhighway number 6, 10 miles from the edge of London all the way into the centre. So before long you start seeing signs for central London, and then before you know it you're at the tower. It's quite difficult to get a really good photograph of the tower, so I took this wee video, and you see all the old original parts of the tower, and then obviously they've got the glass house that they built just on the right hand side there. Just across the road from that on Tower Hill there's this great monument with some historical time marks of what's happened in London through the years, and the bit that relates to Cromwell's time is actually quite interesting. It shows you there's only 4 or 5 landmarks between 1600 and 1642 for the Civil War, but it does say that London supported the parliamentary forces, so yeah, a quick look at that, and then into the City of London. Good cycle provision all the way into the centre, and then I went to look for Cromwell's statue, which is one of only 2 statues that sit within the actual fences of the Palace of Westminster. So there are, I think, 15. I looked online. There are 15 statues around the Houses of Parliament, but only 2 that actually sit inside the grounds, and one of them is this one of Cromwell. It's very similar to the one that's in St Ives, but these are the big names that have got statues, but just not in the grounds. These are either in Parliament Square or on the Embankment, and so you can see the names that Cromwell was ahead of. And when you think back that to the age of 36 he was living in St Ives, and then till 46 he was living in Ely, the fact that in the intervening sort of 10 or 12 years he went on to be the number 1, it actually puts me in mind of Alexander Hamilton. If you've seen this musical, and I've seen it twice, and there's a line in that says, "I wish there was a war so that we could prove that we're worth more than anyone bargained for." And that seems to me that Cromwell just did really well out of the Civil War. He was able to rise through the ranks rapidly by military success, and what that meant was, by the time the war was over, he was basically the head honcho and running stuff. So I'm going to spend the next few weeks trying to figure out how the hell he did that. But for now, it's back to Liverpool Street, train home, and that's us for another day. Thank you.